Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Yeah, our receptionist just hit me up about if I'm bringing my kid to work tomorrow. I'm like, hell no.
She asked me that too. I'm like, no, I actually have to work.
Yeah, not
my
a
kid
chance.
is very distracting.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. No.
not doing this.
Every now
Lord.
and then we're doing like the podcast, and I'll be like, oh, fuck that shit. Then I'll look over, and like Magnolia will be walking by. I'm like, tone it down, bird.
You just feel wrong.
I feel real wrong.
I only have them here if it's an emergency,
Yeah.
and that's it.
I remember you were hiding her out one day because the company threw out this whole memo. Don't bring your kids to work. It's fucking shit up.
Well, right before spring break, I think like 5 or 6 people had the plan to bring their kids to work because the kids are off the whole week of school, but you still got to work. Adults don't get a spring break. Mm-hmm. And it does, I mean, I see it with my own kid. My kid is distracting other people that are trying to get work done.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
But she's a good kid about it. The worst is if you bring your kid to work and the kid's kind of a dick.
We've had some like that too.
You just have that. I think everybody has that, no matter what.
I got an email here. Jesse talking about Virginia and Panda's little dilemma. She's talking about from What's on Your Mind today.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Virginia is going to give Panda a boys' night out on Saturday, but she wants him to go to Boca with her. She goes to the main bar to get whatever her lashes did or whatever the hell it is she's doing there.
Yeah, we're going to go to a birthday party and then main bar, and I figure we could get a little food and hang out, and then he can go do his boys' night.
And he ain't feeling Boca.
No.
And you guys are in Quiznos, so if people don't know, so it's not. You're talking, was it about 45 minutes?
Oh, at least
50 minutes, probably.
It's about an hour 10.
Yeah, I was
Is
gonna
it
say.
really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you are so far north.
It's far.
That's crazy.
I really can't.
But we have to go to that birthday party that's like kind of halfway between Tequesta and Boca.
Yeah.
So I was figuring we're already halfway there.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't want to go to Boca on a Saturday and watch you get your eyelashes
You know
done?
what? I don't think
Yeah.
I want him to go to the birthday either now. I'm just going to take Rocco.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask Mags to come with me and take her to Boca.
My wife, she used to do it like she goes on these errands, and she used to set this trap. Like she'd be going, hey, I want to go try this new bar. She knows. Like, I mean, you want to talk about
New bar?
You want to snag Kev. I mean, I'm telling you what.
You're so dumb.
I'm so
new
dumb.
bar. You don't see that the new bar is right next to her errand.
Like, well, I wouldn't. Yeah. Well, like the whole thing is like, okay, so we get down the road. I'm like that dog when they roll down the window. Oh, I can't. I'm so excited. I'm
3
like,
hours later, you haven't been at the bar yet.
well, all of a sudden we pull into the dry cleaner. I'm like, this is the bar? She's like, oh, no, I got to pick up my dry cleaning real quick. I'm like, all right. So we get out, like, I'm like, where is this place? I'm like, this seems like a bad place. Oh, no, I got to pick up our taxes. I'm like, fucking 3 hours later, we finally roll up to the bar, and I'm like, so asleep. I'm like, I've lost all enthusiasm.
Oh.
I just wound up doing errands with her, and at the end of a 3-hour journey doing errands was a beer, and then I have a beer. I'm like going, yeah, I think I'm going to go. She's like, oh, no, we're cashing out. We got to go home. I'm like, what? This is the day? And so we had many of those things where I'm like, I just like going, she would do that. And so she used to do that to me, and then she'd start doing that to other family members. Everybody's hip to her game now.
Because errands are awful.
Errands are awful, yeah.
Errands really are. When I got to do them just by myself, they suck.
Imagine errands that aren't for you.
Yes, I know.
Well,
It's
I mean-
I hate my
terrible.
own errands. I hate when I'm doing someone else's errands.
The taxes are for you. I mean, you'd file jointly, so don't get all...
Okay, it's a bad example, Virginia.
Bad example.
Yeah.
Okay, let's use a good example. Lashes.
Well, no, the dry cleaning was all hers. I don't do dry cleaning. Look at me. I only wear nice clothes.
I don't even wear nice clothes.
So,
These might not even be clean,
probably not.
much less dry
Just
clean.
as dry cleaned, yeah.
Dry clean is expensive.
Yeah, it was all that kind of like crap. And then, you're like going, "Ugh, what the heck, man? At the end of like a 5-spot, 7-spot deal, it's always like you're off getting some kind of cleaning supplies or something. I'm like,
Oh, gosh. If I am doing an errand looking for fucking spick and span, oh, my gosh.
yeah, I hear you, man. So anyway, but the comment here about Virginia's little trip. In my relationship with my husband, I can't allow myself to tally who does what over time because it will drive me crazy. Most people skew their tally in their favor. It's only natural. So my husband and I approach each day as a new blank slate. If I were in Virginia's shoes, and especially since she's flying solo with Rocco Saturday night, I would say the two options are: one, After the birthday party, go to Boca as a family. Panda watches Rocco while Virginia gets her lashes done. They have a little lunch. Then after that, head home. Or after the birthday party, Virginia goes to Boca by herself to get her lashes done and maybe some more primping. And Panda takes Rocco back home with him for the afternoon until time for him to go out with the boys. It'd be so different for Virginia to wrangle a toddler while getting her lashes done. So
No, you can't do it. It's impossible.
yeah, she's just asking for a little help and some family time as an additional bonus. Obviously, she hopes the family time option 1 wins, but if not, oh well. We'll try again another time. I think these options are fair compromises. That's from Jesse.
Have you heard from Panda today?
I have, and I don't know if he heard the bit.
All right, I'm texting him right now.
So he texted me, and what he said is, "Are you still sad?" Because that's what I told him last night. I said, "I'm sad that you don't want to go to Boca.
Oh, okay.
I'm just sad that you don't want to have a family day." And,
Yeah,
and then
it's a good way to put it.
I wasn't mad.
It's a good way to put
I
it.
wasn't a bitch.
It's
as much
not
as
confrontational.
As much as I wanted to be,
Mm-hmm.
I was just sad, and I verbalized that.
It's
And then I went to
very
bed.
good, Virginia. Mm-hmm.
And so he was wondering if I was still sad, and I said, "Yes, I'm still sad." So,
Okay.
I'm going to let him know right now.
But now, you know what? Now I'm kind of getting mad.
Don't get mad.
I just
No.
want to, you know what? I want to go to the birthday by myself, and I want to go to Boca by myself. And then Saturday is just going to be a separate but equal day.
Can we FaceTime you when we're out? When we're out?
No, I would not recommend FaceTiming me.
Even me?
Saturday night?
What if I want to FaceTime? Hey, what's up, V?
I don't know. You're too close to the problem.
You think I'd be Team Panda? I'll probably be drinking. Hey, let's FaceTime Virginia. I'm out with your husband, motherfucker.
I'll be like, "What?"
Oh, that only. Oh my God.
Yeah, I would only do that just to be a dick. Because I would think,
I'll be expecting your call.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think in the long run you would think it's sort of funny.
It's sort of funny, but sort of annoying.
I wouldn't do it. I would never do it.
Okay. Also, another comment about the sausage cheese balls from Cassidy. She
Yes,
said,
tell us.
It's Super Bowl side dishes, and some website had it on a map as Florida was #1 for sausage cheese balls. And when we talked about it, like nobody knew what the hell they were.
It sounds like the worst thing for your diet, but the best thing for your taste buds.
Yeah, they don't sound bad. Nobody said that. It was just like people going, that can't be Florida's #1. So nobody knows what the hell they are. And that might be one of those things where North Florida skews, us. And I think a lot of times we just don't belong in the same state. Being from North Carolina, she says, I've grown up with these, but every time I make them down here, nobody knows what they are. So, yeah, I think that list was bunk.
Huh.
It's basically just Bisquick, sausage, and cheese balls.
Oh, so it's part biscuit?
Yeah, it's
There's
like
dough?
biscuit, sharp cheddar cheese block, sausage, a hint of cayenne pepper, a little bit of hot sauce. You shred the cheese. You bake it at 300 for 20, 25 minutes. You said they're amazing. They sound fantastic. So there you are. That's kind of like what it is.
I had a different vision. Okay.
Yep. So she's clarifying that for us. Talking about Quiznos yesterday.
I'm sorry. I know. I got a little emotional.
You're a man alone on this one because I love Quiznos. Denny's loves Quiznos. Kevin loves Quiznos.
I'm not a man alone on this. There's other people who think they got shitty ass food.
Well, this is educational because here's I think the answer for Quiznos. Thank you, Don Henry, for this email because I think this is
Don Henley?
Don Henry.
Oh, I thought he had the voice of summer.
Close, right? Yeah. Don Henley loves Quiznos.
I didn't know he listened to us.
That's awesome.
Uh-huh. Well, Quiznos, I think, used to be great, and they sabotaged themselves. Listen to Don's email, and this explains a lot for like why we may love it and why Jaybird hates it, and why we both might be right about Quiznos being good and bad.
Okay.
He said, I thought I'd let you know what happened to Quiznos. I, too, love them, and in 1999, I would have an Italian toasted sub for lunch just about every day. Then there was one on Okeechobee and Military. Well, I was in Miami a few weeks ago, and like the rare one on North Lake Boulevard, there's one in Miami on Bird Road. Now, the Quiznos died out because when they were franchised like McDonald's, the owners were forced to buy their products and to buy in mass bulk, not based on what they sold. So many owners had to close because their profits were going in the trash. Food was spoiling. They couldn't sell it in time because there was just too much stuff sitting on the shelves for what they could actually sell out in that amount of time. That's not a good business model. So this owner in Miami still makes it due to its diversity of people, and he sells a lot of his variety of sandwiches. So it did lose some of its credibility, though, because they used to be bigger. They had more meat. The bread was better. But when they went mainstream, they popped up everywhere. They lost what had made them good. So Jason is kind of right, but he can still go fuck himself. He said, I'm going to Northlake today to get one while streaming this podcast. Love you guys. But
It's a great email.
it is a great email, and it makes sense because Quiznos had a great thing. I remember, for me, one of the saddest things ever. And I learned something. I so wish if I could go back to college, I'd probably at least do a minor in business because now it fascinates me so much. I know really nothing about it. There was a place at City Place, and it was called the Old Sports Theater, and now it's that place that's in and out all the time. Last it was whatever, the Bowery, and then it was B.B. King's, and then it was...
Yes, that's a big space.
It
Well,
is.
it had a good run as the Sports Theater. I don't know if you guys remember when it was the
I
Sports
do.
Theater, and you would go in there, and they had a great bar set up. The bar's still the same as it used to be for the Sports Theater. If you've been to the BB King's or whatever. And they had big projection TVs all the way around, and each single booth had its own little sound system where you could dial up whatever TV and whatever sport was on. It was one of the best setups ever. Food was solid. Beer was great. Everything that you needed for a really good environment. And then they went out, and I said, what happened? Apparently, somebody told me that they started to do well, and they started to franchise, and they opened up more places than they could actually handle, and they overspent. They went too big too fast, and that's a big faux pas when it comes to businesses and franchising, because you're met with all this success and you're like, oh my gosh, we got to take this everywhere. And then when you start doing that, if you don't do it the right way, a la Quiznos, a la the Sports Theater, because they were successful at City Place, but then they overextended, had to send all this money to, I think it was North Carolina, they opened one up. So all their profits from West Palm were going to North Carolina, and that shut down both of them. All of them. They had opened like 3 other ones, and the lack of success of the other 3 killed the one in West Palm. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. So that makes sense as to what happened with Quiznos. They just didn't do it right when they, and sometimes you have a great one-off and then they try to open up someplace else. You ever had that? And that happens all the time. Like, you know what to say, but you do see smaller places like a Permante's even. I'll use them because right there on Fort Lauderdale Beach, they're great. And then I went to the other Permante's brothers that they got, and there's nothing special about it. It's like on Federal Highway or something like that, somewhere in Broward. And I went there one time.
I've been to that one.
But it wasn't the same, right? It just felt like any other place. And I'm like, I could go any other place. Like, it didn't have just...
I think the other one's the more original one. I think the beach one is newer.
The one on the beach is the one that I thought had a good vibe and was cool.
As I've heard, I mean, everybody and their mother has emailed me about
been around for a
Permante's.
while.
The one out in Broward, right? In Lauderdale?
There's 2.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. And that's what I was saying, was one seemed to be just kind of unique and cool, and the other one was like, it didn't. It felt like, there's no place like a regular old ale house, which are all fine. I love ale houses and all that. That's right up my alley. But it didn't feel like it was like I'm at someplace special. It felt like I'm at a regular joint.
Ale House is good. They really do have good food. They're zingers. I don't know anyone else that does zingers like that, really, where they wet them down. When you get the barbecues, they're fucking dripping,
It's
baby.
a soup.
Yeah, and I love soupy things.
Yeah. I can tell you one of my new favorite places is Brass Tap, the one in Boynton. They actually had one in City Place, and I kind of forgot that was a Brass Tap. I used to go there. It's just okay. But the one in Boynton is great. The beer selection is amazing, and the food is really solid. They got good TVs as well. I was like, okay, that's kind of... And they got a lot of little games. They got the cornhole and all that kind of stuff. Which,
I love games.
yeah, it's kind of been my new little hot spot. I'm always trying to find something, good. But anyway. Yeah, so a lot of people were jumping in saying, the Quiznos.
Yeah, I'll get tons of
Yeah, they're
comments.
saying, you're not alone, Jay Bird. The Quiznos fucking sucked.
I just had too many bad experiences.
Yeah, and somebody said, so I've lived in North Carolina for 4 years, and I've never heard of freaking sausage balls. So, I don't know. And somebody said, when's the next KVJ Cocktails and Karaoke at Blue Martini Palm Beach? That's from Sarah in Martin County. I'd have to look at
I
the
believe-
calendar.
It is Friday, February 16th.
I knew that
That's
one,
back
actually.
in Palm Beach?
It's back in West Palm.
Okay. Yeah, we've got coming up. Let's see. We don't have one on the 9th.
No, we do not.
No, that's
So the next one is just back in Palm Beach again, huh?
Correct.
I'm not hitting Loudy, huh?
West Palm on the 16th. Fort Lauderdale on the 23rd.
Where?
Fort Lickadale.
Thank you.
Somebody texted in. They're so annoyed when Jaybird does that.
Oh, are they?
See that? Yeah.
You got my
no.
text?
They
No,
are.
somebody tweeted Scotty's like, please tell Jaybird to stop saying Fort Lickerdale. What is he, a 21-year-old drunk girl? So annoying.
Yeah, I'm gonna only just make it harder, faster, longer for Lickerdale.
Harder, faster, longer, stronger.
That's more annoying, more obnoxious.
Got an email from Mark. He said, hey, with all these celebrities claiming sexual assaults and the directors who are being accused, how many of them have had sex scenes and how many takes does it take to get the quote, the shot? Have any actors gone too far in a sex scene and that's now going to come out? Thoughts? Yeah, I mean, there's even a blog that somebody had written where it talked about at least where they believe that the sex scenes were real, that the actors were really having sex.
There's a Marlon Brando scene. I forget the name of the movie, but it was very, very controversial at the time. There was, I believe, an 18 or 19-year-old actress. They had a scene in the movie where they didn't tell her what they were going to do. Marlon and the director, it was about a stick of butter, and it was a rape scene. And he grabs the butter and sticks it like on her, and it simulates rape. Now she knew something like that was going to go down, but she didn't know about the butter. She didn't know about he didn't really rape her, but he went into the scene like he was going to rape her, and she had no idea. And she's always claimed that it went too far, and she didn't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, shouldn't everybody know what's coming?
You should. And then the director's going to claim.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Well, I think the director claim was we wanted a real natural reaction. No, let people know what the fuck is going on.
Especially if it's going down in a like a rape kind of scene.
Well, they're actors. They're supposed to be able to act. They're supposed to know what they're supposed to do.
That would be awful.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what new things they'll do in movies and in sets to say, okay, look, we've got to have clear boundaries. This is a scene, it's a violent sex scene, or it's a sex scene, whatever, to say this is in, this is out, this is all you can expect to do. And yeah, I mean, actors themselves a lot of times take liberties, or they go in the moment, or they really get into it. And yeah, that's where you got to be like, okay.
You just have to have it all on paper.
Yeah.
You have to have witnesses and say, hey, this is what we expect you to do this role. A, B, C, you're taking off clothes, you're not taking off clothes. Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah.
If you are, sign it, and here we go.
Sure. Yeah. Lay out the expectations. Sharon's got a mystery. She said we were at the Cheesecake Factory in Boca.
I wasn't there, I swear.
This wasn't a Jaybird sighting. This is someone else. We saw a large group of people come in with guitars and others who look like they could be managers. One of them had a dark fro, kind of, and one of them was bald. My fiance is driving me crazy trying to figure out who it is. Please help. I attached a really crappy picture he took that we left, and she's right. I mean, this kind of looks like in the distance like a Charles Manson with a black Bozo the Clown wig on. So that does nothing for me. I mean, the only thing even close to what that guy kind of looks like, I was thinking maybe the Killers, but that guy looks too old. And the Killers were through town a couple weeks ago. Looks a little bit like their guitar player.
Anybody who's like good is not going to have their guitar with them at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
This sounds like it's
Open mic dude that's coming back from a gig.
Yeah.
or somebody who's trying to maybe get their band at City Place. Maybe they had a meeting with the City Place people, and
Yeah.
they had to do a little performance for them.
I think it was in Boca, but same concept.
okay. It was in Boca.
But they can fool you. You know, something kind of happened to me. I was at Fort Lauderdale Airport, and we were waiting for a flight, and there's a bar that was there. We were hanging out, and I was about my second beer, so I wasn't hammered, but I was like, okay, getting in flight mode, And these guys came in, and they just had the look. I mean, like the skinny jeans and all this kind of stuff, and like they're wearing glasses inside the airport
They
bar.
had to have been musicians.
Yeah, and I think one of them might have had something that looked like a guitar kind of case thing that he was flying with. And so, curiosity got the best of me, and I just kind of went up, and I'm like, hey, what are you guys, like, you guys in a band, or what are you doing? I went up talking to them, and they were band guys, but they're guys like They're professional musicians. Like sometimes, you know how these bands, like they'll pick up a couple guys
Yeah.
to play.
Yes.
Studio musicians.
Like you'd have 38 Special, you'd have like somebody like that. And so they started going through, we played for him. We played for like Sammy Hagar. We played for this guy. So they played for some guys, but that was it. And they've got, they're from Cincinnati, Ohio. They kind of had their own thing. And oddly enough, they just sent me a message. They'd be like, hey man, we just want to see what you're up to. I'm like still friends with these like guys in this whatever band. But yeah, I mean, it was so much. So I'm like, well, and they've got to be fan. I'm sitting there like, you should know who these guys are. Who are they? Like, they look like they would be like a band that had hits like in the early to mid 90s. And you're like, yeah, I don't know. Could it be Filter? Could it be,
This is Filter.
I mean,
are you guys Filter?
But it would have been one of those bands where you kind of like knew who they were, but it's been
You knew
so
one of their
far
songs,
out.
but none of their faces.
I mean, the guy could have said, hey, I'm the bass player for Filter. You're like, no way, because we've been duped
Or
before.
I'm the bass player from Fallout Boy.
Yeah, we got duped from a fake guitar player from Fall Out Boy. We got him free drinks, and we interviewed him on the radio as the guitar player from Fall Out Boy. It was just a son of a bitch.
It was at Sunfest, and this guy was not in Fallout
no,
Boy.
this guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know how this guy got into Sunfest.
We're like, all right, cool. Come on over. Let's talk to you on the radio.
I mean, like you say, like a band like Filter, and you could totally say, oh yeah, bass player Filter, man. No one would know.
Oh yeah, what's that band? If you could, like, you could say Tonic. And you'd be like
Tonic.
going, yeah, no, we're Tonic. You'd be like, oh no way, yeah, I wouldn't know. I even did a show with Tonic, and I wouldn't know. I hung out with those guys. It was 20 years ago. I'd have no idea. The lead singer could sit next to me and be going, okay, all right.
Hey, Tonic, how's it going?
Yeah, exactly. Let me see here. Boy, this is a crazy story. Just came in. Kind of got my attention because the photo jumps out at you. Says, couple finds worms in their feet after beach vacation.
Oh shit, that.
What?
There's this couple in their 20s, early 20s even, from Canada, and they went to Punta Cana and the Dominican. And when they got back to Canada, their feet had been itching like crazy. Started to swell up, and then they started bleeding. And they're like, obviously, this isn't right. And they went in there, and they found that they had cutaneous larva migrans, known as hookworm larvae, that probably entered their skin while they were barefoot on the beach.
Oh, my gosh.
Pretty
Both of
awful.
them had it?
Yeah.
Pretty awful.
They say the parasites typically live in the intestine of dogs, cats, and other wild animals, and they'll just kind of chill on the sand or soil that's been contaminated with animal feces, and then anybody traveling or walking along on it, can pick it up. They say the condition typically goes away without treatment, but anti-parasitic medications definitely help out.
No, I'm not waiting that one out. I want to get the medication.
Thank you.
But if you have been walking on the beach and you get back and you're like, oh, my feet are like so itchy, like what is going on? I've had those kind of things where I've been on the beach and you're like going, okay, is it sunburn? Is it just the harsh sand?
Is it just that I stepped in some funky sand?
And it gets in your head, and
Oh,
you're like
no.
going, "Oh my god!" Or did I have athlete's foot? I didn't realize I went on the beach, and now it's in my head, and I'm sitting there, I'm like losing my mind.
It's none of those things. It's worms.
And you don't know how to diagnose it. You're like, I don't know what's going on. Oh, can you imagine? Because I mean, the photo they showed, unless they did that dirty trick or they took a different photo, but like the foot, especially if these are like people in their early 20s, like it's pretty, and like the blood was just like coming out.
Oh my
of
gosh.
like their nails and things like that. It's just, that's why the photo got my attention. I'm like, I gotta find out what this is all about.
Did you see this photo? It was circling around yesterday. It was this guy. He bit into. It looked like a burger from another country, and I want to say it was either. It looked like it was Burger King, but it had maggots all through that. Did you see that thing?
No,
How was that real?
You showed it to me, and
I never
didn't-
saw that story.
I never saw anybody else but you with that story. That's what made me think it wasn't real, because usually if something like that goes mainstream and it's real, it'll catch on quick.
That's why I was asking Kev. You're up on that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I try to read absolutely everything that's out there in a day so I don't miss anything, but I never saw that. But that doesn't
Yeah,
mean
here it
that
is.
I
It comes
couldn't
right
have.
up. It says maggots found. There it is. Here's the video right there, Kev. You can see the maggots crawling around the burger.
Yeah, that's normal. I don't know how that would happen. What restaurant was that?
It looks like it's from a different country.
Oh, well,
It's
you never know.
Burger
Yeah.
King. It says Burger King.
But a different country.
I don't know if it is or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
why, man. all
That's
this-
horrifying. And people can fake that too.
But that's just it, though. What is fake? What is real? I mean, those maggots look legit, man. It look like they're in that beef.
Yeah. That's why it's like, honestly, like there's so many things that got me concerned about this trip to Israel. I'm like, I got to learn a lot because, whenever you leave, the borders, like you just got to knowing the ins and outs are key.
Well, you're very prissy, and your prissy ways are protected here in the States.
They do. It's like it's set up. Like I know what I'm doing. I know the ins and outs.
You are very protected and very cared for.
I'm in a bubble.
You are.
And I love that.
And the rest of the world is not in that bubble, Ralston.
Right. I know.
And I worry about you.
I do too. I'm worried as well. I mean, I'm going to a place where they carry machine guns on the street, Virginia.
Yeah, I'm not down with that.
I think this maggot video is fake news, man. It's got to be.
Yeah, the rat one they said was fake that we were all into yesterday.
How the
They
shit
said it wasn't even a rat.
is that rat one fake?
You never know if anything's real or fake anymore. You just won't know. That's the world you now live in.
Yeah, you know what? They've got different every fast food on the market. Maggots in the burger, worms in the chicken, every single one of them.
Hillary sent in this email, maybe something for the weird and whatever, especially, but it's an article that reminded me of Jason's story about getting a phone call from his grandma's number after she had passed. This is aunt of murdered model gets a call from the niece's phone. Basically the same thing. Did you ever get any answers as to where that call came from? She's looking for an update on that.
No.
But apparently this has happened to other people, and they did a story on it.
Yeah, a lot of people send me stuff. They're chalking it up to like the wires got crossed. I don't know. It's just bizarre.
That is weird.
She had no idea my new number.
Somebody texted in and said, tell Jaybird the Weird and Whatever podcast from last night was awesome, and it was so nice to meet Vicky in person last Friday at Blue Martini.
Well, thank you very much.
She was there sitting in the front row.
She'll probably come to the next one, too, the one in West Palm Beach. We're all supposed to sing Ghostbusters together.
Oh, okay.
Vicky, she's not a singer. Mr. Beckett's supposed to be on there.
Oh, hey now.
Denny's.
We always welcome Mr. Beckett to any engagement we're doing. We need to pretty up this group.
I agree with you.
He's a pretty man.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Very pretty man. Shay said, love the show. Been a listener for 8 years, ever since high school. I'm now a junior at FSU in Tallahassee, a.k.a. Tallahassee.
Tallahassee.
I'm writing you today about some fucked up shit. Tonight, getting ready for bed, I find this documentary on Hulu called Grizzly Man. It's about this nutjob crackpot Looney Tune motherfucker named Timothy Treadwell who lived with grizzly bears in Alaska for 13 years every summer.
What?
Turns out this dude and his girlfriend, they got mauled and eaten by a bear in 2003, and the documentary details the grisly scene of the attack. It's very disturbing. But I did some extra research on it. Turns out there was audio recovered from a video camera at the camp. It was rolling, and it caught the bear attack. And you can hear the whole thing, oh, stop mauling me! Like, the whole thing is just...
They lived with the bears, and the bears turned on them.
Oh, they always do.
Yeah. Gosh, she said, I warn you, the audio is tough to listen to. It'll send chills down your spine and haunt you. But it's truly interesting.
Jaybird will listen to it.
I will, and then I'll regret listening to it.
I will not listen to it.
I'll do that sometimes with those 911 calls, and then I get so mad after.
Yeah, she said, it's a fascinating documentary, though,
Hey, don't live with grizzly bears because one day they will return to their roots and eat your face.
There's a chance.
Yeah, she said, I wonder what his final thoughts were. Do you think he still loved the bears, or maybe he finally realized just how stupid he was? And he said, yeah. When you watch the documentary, though, you can tell the guy might have been a little bit disturbed, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to be a little mentally off to think it's going to go well when you live with a bunch of bears.
Yeah. So crazy.
I mean, unless you're in the bear review at Disney, it's not going to go well.
I hear you. Yeah, people go out there and they can't believe. I mean, you got to respect that stuff, man. She said, needless to say, my weekend trip hunting into the woods might be postponed after all this bear attack talk. So anyway, that's from Shay. P.S. Jason, go fuck yourself.
I like how that's making a little comeback.
Yeah, it's really catching on.
I might have to wear my shirt.
It died down, but yet it's coming back now.
There is a shirt available if anybody wants to purchase. It says, hey, Jason, go fuck yourself. Mm-hmm. Or you can have, hey, Jaybird, go fuck yourself.
Oh, really? That's nice.
To go back on that bear thing really quick, I've seen a lot of specials where bears, they don't give a shit about humans. Meaning they don't sweat us. If you are in a tent,
no,
and
not
it
at all,
smells like
yeah.
you're cooking some good beans,
Yeah.
they're gonna fuck you up to get them beans, and they're gonna use your arm to dip them in.
Your arm is now a fork.
It is.
You're a bear fork, you fuckhead.
They're not that scared of us.
Do not step up to a bear. Don't do it.
I used to live outside of Yosemite, and there was just so many bear stories that would happen, and you'd wind up talking to somebody that knew somebody that lost an arm to a bear or something like that.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
There's this one video, and maybe it's fake. Who knows? It was such a great video. This guy is just chilling by this stream. He's looking. It's all peaceful, and next thing you know, this fucking big ass bear sits right next to him, looks at him. They look at each other. Bear looks out at the stream. The guy looks out at the stream. They're just chilling together, and the bear gets up and walks away.
It's fake.
It can't be. No.
You don't know. I mean, I thought all rats took showers.
I did too, man. That video, I was telling everybody
And bathe
about
just
that.
like humans. Do, 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 do.
Spa rat.
And spa rat's doing this. I'm going, I can't believe it.
That rat was cleaning his crack.
It was
I was
cleaning
like,
its
"Doo, doo,
butthole.
doo."
I couldn't believe it. I was telling everybody, this rat's cleaning its butthole.
Me and this rat have so much in common.
Yeah, it blew my mind.
It did blow my mind.
Yeah, I hear you. So there you go.
Duped again.
Yeah, well, thank you for all the fun topics today. Appreciate all those emails. You can send them to us, mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com.
What are you watching over there?
I'm just getting you ready for
He
that.
can't wait.
I'm getting that bear video ready
He's
for
queuing
y'all.
it up. He's
Well, 'cause I know
queuing
you,
it up.
I know you guys gotta get out of here.
I don't want to
Alright.
hear the bear eat the people, if that's what you're playing.
No.
He's not going to let you leave till you see this
No,
guy
no, no,
get
no, no,
mauled.
no. I do
No, no,
not
no, no.
want to watch that.
It's the one with the guy sitting down by the
okay.
bear.
Peaceful
Okay.
bear, I'll watch that.
Can we put that on social too so everybody else can go jump and grab that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Jaybird's Peaceful Bear video. Go check our Facebook page or Twitter. We got it up there for you. Y'all have a good day.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.